Hi y'all, welcome back to my shop. It's been a while since we've had a moment of peace. I've been pretty busy the last few months as a tax volunteer with AARP Foundation. The program's got 25,000 volunteers across the United States where we do free tax returns. I've been doing it for almost 10 years, as it has my older brother in another city. If it's something you think you're going to be interested in, click on the link below. There's training provided, and it's a great program giving back. Well, it's getting warmer in Georgia, so it's just about time to ditch the long sleeve winter smock in my summer uniform. Wearing a short sleeve smock when I turn because I'm wearing this over a t-shirt. When I wear shorts, the handiest thing is these gaiters. I did a video on this a while back. This will be my second season wearing these things. And I love them because they go on so fast and easy, and they keep the shavings out of your shoes and out of your socks. My wife loves them. I got this off Amazon. I have a link in the video description if you're interested. But I like them. Okay, let's look respond to some viewer comments. Some of these will go back several months because it's been probably 6 months since I've done one of these moment of videos. Let's start talking first about safety. Let me give a shout out to Gary Festarini 9608 for finally getting through to me with his polite but persistent comments on the hazards of wearing a ring while turning. Another viewer, J Miller 286, got right to the point in his comment in one of my videos. This is a poor example for the younger generation to see someone wearing a wedding ring while using machinery. A longtime viewer Glenn Crandall made this comment and said, this is mentioned a lot by a lot of people, but I don't think wearing a ring while turning is particularly dangerous. It'd be a lot more dangerous if I were wearing a wedding ring and you lost it because you took it off. Irritated wives could be hell. I'd be a lot more critical about face shields, dust masks, hearing protection, and loose clothing. And then from at Ihibu, the only comment I have is, why are you wearing a watch or Fitbit and a ring while turning? Not a very smart thing to do. Just wondering, did your shop teacher teach you no finger rings? Well, I didn't take any shop classes when I was in high school. I was too busy with some other classes I had to take preparing me for college, such as Latin and French and so on. So I never learned. But I never felt like it was a risk large enough to be concerned about, so I asked other members of my four-way collaboration group, and all said they do not wear a ring while turning. Old habits are hard to break, but I'll try to develop a new habit of taking off my ring before entering my shop, and I hope you'll do as well. Why incur any unnecessary risks? If you see me wearing a ring in a future video, feel free to remind me of the hazards. In a recent video I did on making a shelf unit, viewer Dan Healy made an astute observation that I want to share with you. Is concerned about safety. He says, that cross-cutting on the table saw made me cringe. Maybe I missed something, but it appeared that the board was being cut between the fence and the blade. Even with the miter, this is dangerous. I apologize if I'm wrong. I just don't want to see you get hurt. I appreciate your concern, and you raise a good point. Fallen Tree Woodcrafts gave a comment to a recent video. Says, as an older man, I appreciate the emphasis on continued learning of new skills and art. We need to keep our brains and our imagination fresh and growing as we age. You've encouraged me to keep on stretching myself as I try new things. Maybe carving is in the future. Thanks. I agree. I think it is great to keep, if you always do the same thing, you'll always get the same results or less. Although maybe that doesn't apply to practicing wood turning, because the more you do the same thing, maybe the better you get at it. But anyhow, you know what I'm talking about. Along with learning new things, I'm trying something new. There'll be a longer video eventually. It's on using a 3D printer. I borrowed a 3D printer from my son and began to play with it just to return to lathe accessories. And I'll credit this to my friend Bert DeLisle out of Edmonton for getting me started on that. What I hope is not a rabbit hole, but a fun little side trip. All right, closing shop for the last time. Wow, I thought it was good information, but I never anticipated the interest that it had, as it really seemed to resonate with our community of mostly older guys. I hope my thumbnail and title accomplished what I wanted. I had a number of comments. One, Chuck Smith 9633 said, I saw the title of the video and my first reaction was a gasp. I was preparing myself for missing your videos. I watched the video and that's great information. Jack Wagon 4313 said, yeah, I thought the same thing. Mike's going to be with Jesus. Whew. He said, I didn't get that far, though I thought he was retiring and just quitting, becoming a couch potato or even an armchair quarterback. Long-time viewer Bernard Feuder, 5327, wrote, comprehensive and almost frightening, Mike, especially for someone in mid-80s. I've just a bench-by-bench inventory with notional dated values. No tax problems here, but our being isolated practitioners does mean there's nobody trustworthy or knowledgeable for survivors to turn to. At a car boot trunk sales, one occasionally finds lathes and bandsaws for as little as 25 pounds and excellent edged tools for only 5 pounds. So as a hobby turner, I limit my scope a few years back by ceasing to buy major tools and shall never use all the wood accumulated. Bernard. I tell folks to use their best wood or it'll end up in their estate sale or landfill. Some of you may remember the thumbnail I made. I found an image on the internet and copied a picture of a skeleton arm and drew in a bowl gouge. I'm no artist, and I was looking at turning the video into a magazine article and experimented recently with an artificial intelligence generated image. I typed in a request for a tombstone with an RIP, rest in peace, on it, and a bony skeleton hand sticking out of the grave with a bowl gouge. This is one of the images it came up with. Now that is scary. Responding to one of the viewers on Chatter Tool Play, which was a short, wow, I was blown away. It had over 400,000 views and 765 subscribers. A much larger percent of views outside the U.S. Than usual, and I'm still trying to figure out shorts. It's a challenge to get a message out in less than 60 seconds, at least for me. One viewer commented, I don't know if this is a U.S. thing, but what's a chatter tool and what's it used for? Well, I've got videos on that, so check it out. Another viewer wrote, I'm not sure what I just watched. I'm a wood turner and I'm not sure what you just did. This is dealing with a shorts video. In 10 years of turning, I've never heard of a chattering tool. Wow, that was a bit of an eye-opener. We make assumptions sometimes based on our own experience, and you know, living in a place where we got lots of turning clubs, we got lots of wood turning stores. I'm a member of AARP where I get a regular magazine and I get access to the digital issues all the way back, you know, for over 30 years. I go to a lot of symposiums, or I have in the past, where I see a lot of different folks, and I guess if you're going into your shop, you're going into your basement, you're going to your garage and turning, you're not interacting with anybody, you don't belong to any clubs, and all you're doing is the same thing, I can see you can have somewhat of a limited exposure. I hope that's not too negative, but I guess what I'm saying, if you want to get better, broaden your horizons by hanging out with other turners, however you find them. On a video on making a chatter tool recently, I had some tremendous comments that were very helpful, and I want to comment on. At WS6201 said, you can just turn a handle that extends into the conduit, cut a notch in it for the blade to sit in, drill an appropriate size hole through the whole shebang at the end, and use a tap to cut threads in it so you can put a machine screw in it to hold the blade in place. It's a simpler build, only 3 pieces beside the blade. Another viewer, user SC3BU40E7U, commented, was it necessary to make a 2-part dowel, or could you have just turned a longer 11/16 inch dowel on the handle that would extend to the end of the conduit? Thanks, Roy. Wow. You know, I never thought about that. It's a great suggestion. It's a great idea to make that handle longer and just flatten the end of it. It just makes for an easier assembly. I had an interesting comment on a recent video I did on a segmented Beads of Courage box where I was given a box blank and I turned it, and early in the video I made the comment that I don't really care to do segmented work that you spend 90% of your time building the blank and only 10% of the time turning. I'm not criticizing anyone that wants to turn something different, and I certainly wasn't making a negative comment on the quality of segmented work, just what I prefer to do. But the comment that I got was, thank you for insulting thousands of turners who created beautiful pieces of art. I don't feel like I insulted thousands of artists who create beautiful pieces of art, but if I did, I certainly apologize. Well, that about wraps it up. Y'all stay safe and come on back, you hear?